Everybody, welcome to Gettysburg Ghost Tours. My name's Leela. I will be our tour guide for the next hour or so as we're walking around together. If you are here, I'm assuming you would like to see something spooky, paranormal, ghostly, something like that.
Yes.
Maybe? Yeah? Okay. Good. Yes. We're excited. Gettysburg, you have come to the right place. This town is considered the #1 most haunted location in the entire United States. As such, there are people that come from all over the world to go ghost hunting here. When they come to visit, they'll usually bring a lot of fancy equipment with them, same stuff you'd see online, on TV. That is because it is quite difficult to just see things with the naked eye. It's not impossible, but it does tend to happen only under the very most special and lucky of occasions. So if you would like to see something while you're in the town, while you're on the tour, your best bet is to take out a phone, take out a camera, and take as many photographs as you possibly can. And the more you take, the better your chances. It does not matter where in the town you are. The entire town is the battlefield. There's men that fought and died on every single inch of it, including right where you are standing, and so everywhere is a great place to take photos here, not just the places that I'll stop on the tour today.
So where I'm standing right now, someone died right here.
There's a good chance of it. Pretty good chance of it. Just saying. But that's the whole town, so you can't really walk anywhere. And while we're in Confederate territory at the moment, as a whole, you will get more Confederate activity than you will Union activity at Gettysburg. That being said, Steihnwehr Avenue here, this road has the most amount of reported ghost sightings of anywhere in Gettysburg. Almost always in the form of people seeing reenactors walking around really late at night when they're not supposed to be out there. If you watch them, sometimes these reenactors will disappear in front of your eyes. Sometimes they'll walk through walls, and they'll disappear through buildings, things like that. Confederates, they didn't have shoes when they got here at Gettysburg. A lot of them were barefoot. The Confederates were pretty poor. They barely had money to feed their army. A little bit later as the war is going on. And so they don't have uniforms for their men, and they don't have shoes and supplies for their men. If you see a reenactor walking around, he's going to be wearing shoes, but a ghost will not. A ghost won't have them. And so it's one of the easier ways to tell the difference between the two. This is the Alexander Dobbin House. It was built back in 1776, making it the oldest still standing building in Gettysburg. So that is not the Civil War. That is the Revolutionary War when this building was put here. So Alexander Dobbin was building it back when George Washington was declaring war on the British. And so Alexander Dobbin, with his first wife, had 10 kids. She passed away giving birth to the 10th. He got remarried to a widow that already had 9. And so all 19 children are going to move into this building, and all 19 of them slept in one room on the second floor of the building. Now, these kids at that time period, unfortunately, childhood survival rates are not exactly the best. And so of his 19 kids, Alexander Dobbin is going to have 2 of them that passed away. A little boy and a little girl. This was pretty common for the time period. We do not know the names of either. Oftentimes they would not name their kids until they got a little bit older. There's no use getting quite attached until they're going to survive. And so the most active spirit inside of this building is a little girl. Now, like I said, we don't know her name nor her age. It's just one newspaper clipping that mentions her. It just says Alexander Dobbin's daughter died young of typhoid. And so we think it's her that we can see, but when people take photographs of the building, especially in this middle window up here above the red door, you'll get a little girl that likes to stare out the window. She's known for being rather mischievous, so people see her. She likes to untie shoelaces inside of the building. She is known for moving silverware back and forth across the tables. She likes to run around and play and things like that inside of the building. During the Battle of Gettysburg, this was the home of a woman and her 5 kids. They evacuated during the battle, and when they left the building empty, there is somebody that is going to move in a battlefield like this. The field surgeons. And so this is where they're going to start doing amputations inside of the building. The bullets back then, they expanded whenever they hit something. They would literally fan out like a mushroom cloud. And so oftentimes the wound was so devastating that it would have to be removed. And inside a building like this, that's what you're going to see them doing, is cutting off arms and legs pretty frequently. We have a photograph of this building after the battle where those arms and legs are stacked the whole way to the second floor window.
No freaking way.
What happened? Wait, what'd you say?
Those are the arms and legs. There is a photograph of the Dobbin House after the battle where those arms and legs are stacked the whole way to the second floor window.
Oh my God.
The pile extends out here and it runs the length of the building. And so this building, as you notice, it is fairly busy. It is a restaurant nowadays.
I would not want to eat in there.
People see things out of the corner of their eye sometimes, dark shadows that run back and forth.
Upstairs.
Alexa, please.
Would there be anything up there right now?
It's very possible, yeah. Well, yes, it's a restaurant. They're in all the floors of it. And so definitely possible.
Below, like
Yeah. There's a tavern down here, and then there's like a 5-star fine dining up this way. So
I hope we're not going in the
I
basement.
went there for my
no.
Okay, good.
It's just a walking drive. We're just sitting outside. But if you would like to try, take pictures of it, photographs of it, get a good look. You never know. You might get the kids. You might get the soldiers.
I'm ready to experience the supernatural.
You ready?
Things that cannot be explained by science. And that's a very hard thing for a meteorologist to say.
I'm fairly familiar.
Have you experienced
Sometimes
those
things
before?
can just not be explained. But I have to always explain stuff, so it'll be hard for me, but I'm hoping to see something spooky.
Have you seen a ghost before? Have you had any ghost experiences?
So, interestingly enough, a long time ago, my parents brought us to the Triangular Field, which is also in Gettysburg. It's one of the most paranormal spots. It's one of the battlefields on the outskirts of town. And when you go there and try to take photography, any picture, anything like that, the camera malfunctions. Double exposure, stuff like that. And my dad's a hardcore rationalist. Everything can be explained. He doesn't believe in ghosts. Yeah, he's skeptic.
He's a doctor, right?
He's a doctor, so he has to be purely scientific. But at the end of the day, we went there and took a whole bunch of pictures. He had a high quality camera with him, and when he processed them, it was all double exposure.
Wow.
That's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Because and he to this day cannot explain it because he said he didn't change any settings. I asked you, were you messing with us? He said no. I cannot explain why we have all these double exposures at the Triangular Field. So if you ever go there,
I don't want to go.
oh, you should. You're a ghost. You can go anywhere.
Oh, you're right, I
You just
forgot.
fit. You fit in everywhere. But yeah, if you go to the Triangular Field and you try to take a picture or video, watch out for those double exposures because if you try to find a reason, you probably won't because it's something supernatural. Wait. Yasmine, come here. Look. There's a head. You see the head in the very low...
Where? Right there.
No, the window above
I
the...
see something moving right there.
Yes, I see something moving too.
Is that a dog or is that?
1,
Wait.
2, 3. I see 3.
I see someone moving right there.
Yeah, and look at the... It looks like a bald man. Right above the...
I thought it had fur or something. Oh, I do see a bald man.
Oh my gosh. Are we looking at people? We're looking at people. You know, people are scary. You know, people are scary. I'd argue people are more scarier than ghosts, right?
When you see activity, they do not look like a ghost, ever. They're not going to look like Casper. They're not going to look see-through. They don't look like they're glowing or anything like that. Every story I have ever heard, my personal experience, they look solid. They look very real. It looks like a person standing there in front of you. It is only when that person walks through a wall, disappears, or something like that, that you start getting a little suspicious.
I was scared on the tour. I wasn't really getting the best of vibes because going in, I thought, okay, it's a haunted house. We're going to walk through, say hello. But no. Our tour guide was talking about just like scary stories about this person died in this home, this person died in that home. And I'm like, I don't know about that. I wasn't feeling it. But I still, I involved myself because it's an experience, right? And I was feeling just the Halloween vibe. It's the fall, the leaves are falling. I was trying to get into it, but I was holding on to Grace, one of the girls that came with us, and I was just scared.
And to this day, there is roughly 2,000 missing soldiers that are buried here somewhere that we're not quite sure where they are at. And they do have a tendency of popping up from time to time.
What do you mean popping out?
They literally pop up.
Like Rise from the Dead?
Not quite rise from the dead, but they will rise from the ground. Gettysburg is quite rocky, so it's quite difficult to dig here. Because of it, all of these makeshift graves that those Confederates had, on average, they were only buried about 8 to 12 inches below the surface. So they're very, very shallow. So whenever we get very heavy rain around here, they can just wash up from time to time. They've been found all around you. The most recent happened in 1996 on the Gettysburg Middle School football field. They found 16 bodies when they were redoing the turf. There was a mass grave found right over here beside Tommy's Pizza. They found that one in the 1920s. There was a mass grave found here in the Dobbin House parking lot. They found that one when they were laying the brickwork for that addition we just walked by. That one was again back in like 1910. There was a mass grave found over here beside the hospital. There was one found by the Zwigler Church. There was a mass grave found under here the apartment complexes on the corner of High Street in Washington. And so what I'm doing is naming about every block, half block going down the road. They found a mass grave coming down back through here. As to why I like to stop us in this very lovely part of the alley here is because one of these mass graves was found right beneath our feet. Too late, you're already on it. But this mass grave is actually quite large. It wasn't found right here so much as in the whole alleyway. They're fairly large. And I don't know if it's because of the mass grave, if it is because, I don't know, maybe somebody's still down there. Some people say that the running water generates electricity and that helps them manifest better. Maybe that's because of it. Or, I don't know, this is where they fought, this is where they died. I'm not sure what it is. But this alley is where I have had every single personal experience I have ever had while doing the tours. I've seen more pictures than you could possibly imagine. Everywhere across Gettysburg, at every location, I've seen photographs. But I'm talking about something actually happened in my tour that I could not explain. But this guy, when I say reenactor, if you see these reenactors walking around Gettysburg, their outfits are quite expensive. And because of it, they don't get them dirty. They don't run around in them. They look really crisp. They look really clean. They look like they have never seen a hard day in their entire life. The person that I saw did not look like that. This guy's pants were muddy. They were torn up. They were literally ripped. He was leaned over because he had this really big backpack on, probably about this tall, absolutely bulging at the seams on the thing. He was leaned over because this thing was heavy. He had a camping roll tent, everything up over his shoulders. I watched him walk around a corner and never come back out.
Was he wearing shoes?
He was Union, so yes. The Union, fun fact about that one, the Union would nail a type of horseshoe to the bottom of their shoes to keep them out of the mud, out of the dirt, so they didn't wear away, like I was describing earlier. So you literally had a metal horseshoe on the bottom of them. And they make a real clippy clop sound on hard surfaces. So they're very, very noisy when you hear the Union reenactors walking around. That guy that I saw, silent. He did not make a noise. And so there's no way somebody actually walked by me. To this day, I know there's a 0% chance that somebody that looked like that walked past me, past my tour, without me seeing them, to get the whole way into the back. And I don't know what it was. Like I said, I don't know if you believe in ghosts or the glitch in the matrix or the fourth dimensional theories. They're all very popular these days. Take your choice, take your pick. Any one of them could be real, honestly. But I know the guy could not have been there, and I know I watched him walk around that corner. So we don't have very many unfriendly ghosts at Gettysburg. Now, there are a couple where you've got like ones at the orphanage, and then there's some of the Louisiana Tigers closer to the Farnsworth house that are not known for being friendly, but usually they're locked away in places that the general public can't get to unless you pay for it, unless you sign a waiver to get in there and things like that. But for the most part, they are friendly. That being said, you have rumors about Sachs Bridge, our covered bridge, where you're allowed to go at night. Generally, they were friendly too until you started having too many people playing with Ouija boards. And legend goes that they invited something a little bit less friendly that likes to hang out at the bridge now. And so, you know, if you're going to hang out, maybe be a little bit careful out that way. Apparently, he likes to disguise himself as an old man that needs help. So it's just that for some reason, now obviously you're talking about very in-depth, almost borderline religious questions. Is it why in the world they would continue locking themselves in one certain area? And some theories are they're stuck. You know, they've got something going on that does not allow them to move on from this place. In some cases, at the top of the hill, they reported at the orphanage, they said she's trapped there. That's her version of purgatory. That's her form of punishment for the crimes she committed. Then you've got others that perhaps they can't move on. It's very uncertain. We don't know. I'm just saying as a whole, usually if you do have that negative entity, they tend to keep to themselves, more or less. They tend to be tied to a location more often than not.
These glasses are special because they have a special filter on them. They filter out everything